Section 1. A historic first. Trump found guilty. The news reverberated across the globe. For the first time in American history, a former president, Donald J. Trump, was found guilty of criminal charges. On 8, a Manhattan jury delivered its verdict, convicting Trump on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. This unprecedented event sent shockwaves through the United States, raising profound questions about the future of American democracy and the rule of law. The verdict marked a watershed moment, a stark reminder that no one, not even a former president, is above the law. The charges stemmed from a years-long investigation into Trump's business practices. Prosecutors presented evidence alleging that Trump and his company, the Trump Organization, had engaged in a pattern of financial misconduct. This misconduct included inflating the value of assets to secure loans and insurance policies, while simultaneously minimizing their value to reduce tax liabilities. The prosecution painted a picture of a systematic effort to deceive lenders, insurers, and tax authorities for personal and political gain. The defense, however, maintained Trump's innocence, arguing that he had relied on the advice of his lawyers and accountants, and that any discrepancies in financial statements were unintentional. The jury's decision to convict Trump on all 34 counts was seen by many as a resounding victory for the prosecution and a testament to the strength of the evidence presented. The verdict sent a clear message that accountability applies to everyone, regardless of their wealth, status, or former position of power. The verdict also served as a powerful reminder that the American justice system, while not without its flaws, is designed to hold even the most powerful individuals accountable for their actions. Section 2. Falsifying records. The charges explained. At the heart of the case against Trump lay the charges of falsifying business records. These charges, while seemingly technical in nature, carry significant legal weight. In essence, they allege that Trump knowingly and intentionally misrepresented financial information in official documents. These documents included bank statements, loan applications, and tax returns. By inflating or deflating the value of his assets, prosecutors argued, Trump aimed to mislead financial institutions and government agencies for his own benefit. Falsifying business records is a serious offense, often categorized as white-collar crime. This type of crime is typically non-violent and involves deceit, concealment, or violation of trust for financial gain. In Trump's case, each count of falsifying business records carried a potential prison sentence. The severity of the charges reflects the importance of accurate and truthful financial reporting in a functioning economy. These records form the bedrock of trust upon which businesses, investors, and governments rely. Tampering with them undermines the integrity of the entire system. The prosecution's case hinged on demonstrating that Trump had knowingly and intentionally directed or participated in the falsification of these records. They presented evidence, including emails, memos, and testimony from former employees, suggesting Trump's direct involvement in the financial machinations. The defense, however, countered that Trump, a businessman with a sprawling empire, was not privy to the day-to-day accounting practices of his company. They argued that any errors or misrepresentations were the result of negligence or oversights by subordinates, not intentional criminal activity on Trump's part. The jury ultimately sided with the prosecution, finding sufficient evidence to conclude Trump's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Section 3. Echoes of the past. Political convictions in history. Trump's conviction, while unprecedented in American history, is not entirely without precedent globally. Throughout history, numerous political figures have faced criminal charges and convictions. These cases often highlight the complex relationship between power, accountability, and the rule of law. In some instances, they serve as cautionary tales, reminding us that even those entrusted with great power are not above the law. In others, they spark debate about the potential for political motivations behind such prosecutions. One notable example is the case of former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi. Berlusconi, a media tycoon who dominated Italian politics for decades, was convicted on charges of tax fraud and abuse of office. His case, much like Trump's, involved allegations of financial impropriety and manipulation. Berlusconi's conviction sent shockwaves through Italy, a country long accustomed to corruption and impunity among its political class. Similarly, the conviction of former French President Nicolas Sarkozy on charges of corruption and influence peddling served as a stark reminder that no one, not even the highest office holder, is above the law. In the United States, while no former president has faced criminal convictions before Trump, there have been notable instances of high-ranking officials being held accountable for their actions. The Watergate scandal, which led to the resignation of President Richard Nixon, serves as a powerful reminder that abuse of power and obstruction of justice will not be tolerated. Similarly, the Iran-Contra affair, which implicated several Reagan administration officials in illegal arms sales, underscored the importance of transparency and accountability in government. These historical examples, while differing in their specifics, underscore the vital role of legal and ethical boundaries in constraining power and upholding democratic principles. Section 4. A double-edged sword. Implications for U.S. democracy. The implications of Trump's conviction for U.S. democracy are complex and multifaceted. Some argue that the verdict represents a victory for the rule of law, demonstrating that even the most powerful are held accountable for their actions. This perspective emphasizes the importance of upholding democratic norms and principles, regardless of political affiliations. They argue that the conviction serves as a deterrent against future abuses of power and strengthens public trust in the justice system. By holding Trump accountable, they contend, the justice system has reaffirmed its commitment to equality before the law. However, others express concern that the conviction could further polarize an already deeply divided nation. They argue that Trump's supporters, who view him as a victim of political persecution, may see the verdict as illegitimate and a threat to their values. This perspective highlights the potential for the verdict to exacerbate existing tensions and undermine faith in democratic institutions. They fear that it could embolden those who seek to undermine the legitimacy of the justice system and sow discord within American society. Furthermore, the conviction raises questions about the potential for future prosecutions of former presidents. Some argue that it sets a dangerous precedent, opening the door for politically motivated charges against former officeholders. They fear that this could lead to a cycle of retribution, where each successive administration seeks to punish its predecessors. Others, however, contend that the principle of equal justice under the law demands that no one, regardless of their former position, be above prosecution. They argue that the potential for political motivations should not preclude legitimate investigations into potential wrongdoing. The long-term effects of Trump's conviction on U.S. democracy remain to be seen. It is a complex and evolving situation with the potential to both strengthen and weaken democratic norms and institutions. The outcome will likely depend on a multitude of factors, including the response of political leaders, the media, and the American people themselves. Section 5. Charting the course. The future of American politics. In the wake of Trump's conviction, the future of American politics enters uncharted territory. The verdict has the potential to reshape the political landscape in profound ways, influencing everything from future elections to the relationship between the executive branch and the justice system. It is a moment of reckoning for the Republican Party, forcing them to grapple with the legacy of Trump and his impact on American democracy. The party must decide whether to distance itself from Trump and his brand of politics, or continue to embrace him and his fervent base of supporters. The conviction also has significant implications for the 2024 presidential election. While Trump has not yet announced his candidacy, he remains a powerful force within the Republican Party. The verdict could galvanize his supporters, rallying them behind his potential candidacy. Conversely, it could also energize opposition to Trump, motivating voters who view him as a threat to democracy to turn out in droves against him. The outcome of the 2024 election will likely hinge on how the Republican Party navigates the post-Trump era, and whether the Democratic Party can capitalize on the potential divisions within the GOP. Beyond the immediate political implications, Trump's conviction raises broader questions about the health and future of American democracy. The verdict highlights the fragility of democratic institutions and the importance of upholding the rule of law. It underscores the need for civic engagement, media literacy, and a shared commitment to democratic values. The coming years will be crucial in determining whether the United States can address the underlying divisions and challenges that have fueled political polarization and eroded trust in democratic institutions. The conviction of Donald Trump marks a pivotal moment in American history. It is a stark reminder that even in a democracy, power is not absolute, and that accountability applies to everyone. The long-term consequences of this event are yet to be fully understood, but one thing is certain: the United States will never be the same. The nation now faces a crossroads, a moment of profound reflection and a call to action to safeguard the principles of democracy and ensure that justice prevails for all.